In this video, I am debunking for you myths about traveling solo. I did a poll on my Instagram. Would you solo travel? Have you solo traveled? I could never, or I'm thinking about it. And a lot of people were either scared or I could never, or I'm thinking about it, on the fence, basically. And I'm no professional. However, last year I turned 30 and I was like, I want to go traveling and I'm tired. The typical, like the thought of organizing a trip with your friends. There was a time where it was exciting to me. I used to love it. I used to do it not all the time, but you know what I mean? Like I used to be the one with the ideas, full of ideas. Let's do this. Let's go here. Let's go here. And a couple of times it happened and it was fun. It was amazing. But obviously you grow up, different people and different stages in life. Some people are married, some people are in relationships, some people are focusing on their career, some people have moved. It's difficult to coordinate trips with your friends, and that sometimes means you are left feeling like I can't do things. And that's where this video comes in. Girl, boy, get you your passport and go. So hopefully I'm going to debunk some myths or some mental marathons, because it's all in your mind, most of it. And hopefully this will give you the courage to go solo traveling. I think I've met one person who's had a bad experience during solo travel. Everyone else I have spoken to, they have loved it, and they have encouraged it. Like, just do it. So yeah, okay, context. So I did my first ever solo travel last year, so 2023, and I went to Cape Town. And I then took it up a notch and went to Nigeria for 2 weeks solo, and then after that, the first 2 weeks, my friends joined me in Nigeria. So I was there for a reason, but I arrived earlier than everyone else, and then they came 2 weeks after for a wedding. And yeah, those are the two solo trips I've done. But then this year I went back to Cape Town solo. I want to focus on traveling Africa. I really I feel like I'm done with Europe. Europe is going to be maybe for like the girl trip or the friends trip that finally happens, but I want to do the big boy stuff. I want to do the Africa. So anyway, let's go into my notes. Number one, I think this is the biggest one. Let me not say. Anyway, the number one on my list is loneliness. Okay, so all I'm gonna say to this, where you're probably like, what am I gonna do? Who am I gonna be with? How do I organize stuff? You know, the overthinking, it's in your head. That was me too, and that still is me sometimes whilst on the trip. But there's so many things you can do to overcome it. Obviously, I'm not a psychologist, I'm not a therapist, but a lot of things start in the mind, okay? So the mindset you carry is going to impact how you see things. And loneliness is one of the things that I used to worry about in terms of, what am I going to do when I'm there? Who am I going to speak with? How am I going to have fun? One of the things that pushed me to do solo traveling was I was very dependent on other people organizing fun. I had ideas, but I felt I needed other people to have fun with those ideas, and I wanted to change that mindset. And it's similar here. You're not going to be lonely, because if you plan and if you want to meet people, you will do your research and figure out what's happening in the town, in the city, and you catch an Uber and you go and sit at a bar, you go and sit at a table, and you chat to somebody. So it doesn't have to be lonely if you don't want it to. Literally, when I was in Cape Town, one of the things I would do every morning or the night of the end of the day, what's happening in Cape Town today, things to do in Cape Town today. I made sure to add today, because then it will give you like an events list with the diary. And through that, I got to go to stand-up comedy, like startup comedians. I went to an album opening. I got to go know about First Thursdays, things like that. You just find out, and when you go, do something about it to make sure you do not feel lonely. And should you find yourself with nothing to do in one of the evenings, one of the days you're there, That's cool. You're in a flipping whole different country by yourself. Take in the environment. Put on Netflix, watch Netflix. Just appreciate the fact that you are somewhere different and you've done this all by yourself, and you're good, you're comfortable, and you're safe, and you're happy. Okay, the other big one, all of these are like big ones. Safety, girl. No, I get you. So a lot of people were shocked that I went to Cape Town, I went to South Africa by myself, and I was comfortable with that. The reason I was comfortable, honestly, it starts with the mind, and secondly, I felt I put things in place to make me feel comfortable, and I like to think that I've got quite a decent sense of awareness, and so besides relying on that, there's just practical things that I did that just made sure I'm all good. First of all, I Uber in and out. So with Uber, you know who's coming, you know where you're going. You get out the car, you get into your event. Done. At certain times of the nights, if you feel uncomfortable, for example, you're getting lost, walk into a hotel, walk into a bar, and figure yourself out before you step out again. If you feel uncomfortable, book an Uber and go straight away. Places like Cape Town, Uber is very reliable. Uber is very much like how it functions here in the UK. Not so much in Ghana and in Nigeria, I'm not gonna lie. I made videos about that. I mention Uber a lot because how you travel matters, and that's where you're gonna be stepping out of your home or your room or your hotel to go out, right? So how you travel really matters, and I chose to use Uber all the time. Uber has a feature as well that you can share with loved ones your location, that you've arrived, that you're where you've got to where you got to. So yeah. And the obvious one obviously is like all your precious belongings. The belongings you can leave at home, leave them at home. Like, just don't bring them if the cost of losing them is going to be, sometimes it's not about the money, it's the sentiment and the faff to recover them. Obviously have travel insurance. Hopefully you don't need to like use it, but you can put stuff like that in place to make you feel a bit more cushioned. I would say don't skimp on things. Don't skimp on your comfort. Don't skimp on your area, because don't skimp on the Uber that you select to go with. If you are booking the cheapest Uber, the caliber of person you're going to meet is going to be different to the person who you book Uber Lux with, for example. And you just want to be where you will be comfortable. And for me, there's the things that I look at too. There's this conception that solo traveling might just be for extroverts, people that are out there and they're confident, and actually the opposite can be the case, which sometimes is bad as well, when you just love being by yourself. And anyway, that's not this video, but it kind of ties into the loneliness thing. The thing about solo travel is, one of the reasons why I felt confident to go back to Cape Town the second time by myself was because you make friends, you meet people. When you put yourself out there, when you've got a story that resonates with people, or people love the idea of whatever it is you're doing, they will connect with you. And also, I'm not gonna lie, when you go abroad, you're like the shiny new thing, and so people are drawn to you, and people want to know or want to understand something about where you're coming from, or you've got knowledge to share, you've got experiences to share. So you are not going to be lonely, and you're not going to be feeling like an extrovert or an introvert. You're just going to feel a sense of belonging, quite honestly. Bask in that, enjoy that, love it. Just don't get confused. Language barrier is another thing most people worry about, and there's so many apps that you can tackle that issue with. But I would recommend, for your first solo travel, go to a place that is like English is just easy to navigate in. I think also for me, there was this thing about solo traveling as a female. Yes, you have to be extra careful because your safety and everything. Especially when you're thinking about traveling to super religious places, that's something to really think on. It's traveling solo in super religious places. Cape Town is not religious, but obviously it's known for sexual violence. But I would say that, again, it ties into your budget. Things will be more expensive because you're traveling solo, because you're not dividing anything. You will be by yourself most of the time, so you're f***ing up everything by yourself. You're not dividing it up. What I would say is don't skimp. Skimping will affect the area that you hang out, that you stay. Skimping will affect the kind of people mindsets that you deal with. You want to be around like-minded people that just understand your standards, and that will play into your safety, into you feeling lonely, into the ideas that are given to you, into the recommendations that are given to you, into how you feel. You want to be comfortable, especially where you live, the area you're in. You don't want to be at nighttime. Like, I go out when I'm in England. I don't go out like as in clubbing, but when I'm abroad, I'm out. I come home around 4 a.m 6 a.m sometimes, and that's not the time you want to be rolling up in some shady neighborhood. Like, it's just not. And also, when you're traveling solo, you need to think about, do you want to do Airbnb? Do you want to do guest house? Do you want to do hotel? I would say do where you're not alone. There should be other people. The guest house I was in, it had a landing, it had an entrance, it had a balcony, it had a seating area, and we could all use this stuff, and most of the times no one was using it. If you're not looking to be like solo and just like in solitude, you can literally go on Instagram, search hashtags of the things you're interested to do, or search by location and message people. Just say, hey, like, check their vibe, message people and say, hey, I'm looking to visit, or don't say I'm looking to visit, I'm looking to do this thing. Don't tell everyone that you're solo, you're by yourself. Just say, I'm looking to do this particular thing on this day. Just wanted to know what your recommendations are. I can see you've done it before. Or you can literally go on TripAdvisor and look up like tour guides or people that sell cooking courses for their cultural dishes within the location you're traveling to. Or you can look for Facebook groups. There's a lot of groups for solo travelers. I didn't want to go down that rabbit hole personally. I just wanted to arrive and do my thing, go through events, because what I was interested in is interacting with locals. My thing with groups is you tend to meet other foreigners, other tourists. I'm interested in meeting locals and that are just doing their thing. That's where my fun is. So, but based on what you want to achieve on your solo trip, and I think it will be different per country, right? I would say just plan, think through what you want to achieve, plan, measure your time as well. How much time do you have? And plan accordingly. And then, whatever is on your mind that makes you feel like, this makes me uncomfortable, tackle it, have a plan against it or for it, or ask other people as well. Feel free to comment below, ask questions, or any experience that you've had as well that's shareable. Please do, so that this can be a growing little bubble of information in the comment section below. I will stop rambling now because this video can go on and on and on and on and on, and I'll see you in the next video.